Hi guys, today I'm going to be trying to show you how to colour eyes. So I've already done several examples just to show the basics of what this video will try and tell. I'll just show that when you actually draw an eye or anything really, you have to use a series of colours. You have to use quite a large range in order to achieve a good dark to light sort of ratio with shadows, just to make it look bright and stand out and real. More realistic. Now in this one you'll notice that I use a lot of black, but that's only because it's an eye. We're colouring eyes, and therefore you've got the thick eyelash thing going on. But for example, if you were drawing, you won't really be using so much black. It's more, you want to be getting dark tones like brown or dark blue. Okay, so I'm going to go into time lapse and draw the eye, and then I will go through how I colour it. Come on to the colour. I was thinking that because I've already done a yellow, red and blue and green, that I would do a pinky purple. So we'll have to have different shades of pink and purple, and I'm going to get the pencils I need for that. Okay, for this video I'll be using these pencils. So my first colour is quite a dark purple, and this is because I'm trying to get a good tone to merge with the dark colour. What I'm trying to do is blend in the dark areas. When you go into the light areas, press lightly, and when you go into the dark areas, which you've already marked with the black pencil, press harder. We may have to come back to the black depending on how we want it to look. I'm going to make markings of lines down this area. Now this isn't necessary, you don't have to do this, but quite often they are drawn with lines like this to sort of represent real eyes. Of course they don't have to be drawn like this is just my preference. See, I'm still only on one shade. You do a lot of shading with just one pencil, and it does take a while. But if you wanted to get a good look, you have to be patient. Okay, so now just by varying the pressure on one pencil, we've managed to get quite a tonal range, but obviously there's loads to go before we ended up with the final product. So the next colour I'll be using is a lighter purple. It's quite bright. See, it's actually quite similar to that colour, but they're different pencils, you see, so they provide different effects. So now we layer it on top, varying in pressure depending on which part of the eye you're on. We vary it on top of the already drawn eye. So I'm going to leave that middle part for later. I'm going to focus on the main bit right now. You see how I'm blending in the different shades. I may come back to this pencil. That's one thing that I also do. I don't just use one pencil once and leave it alone. Sometimes when an area is missing a certain type of colour that you're looking for, you go back. Depends what you're drawing. There isn't so much a colour technique, it's just practice at the end of the day. I mean, I can show you how I do something, but once I didn't know how to do it either, so you really have to, you know, get stuck in. Okay, so now I am going to add a bit of pink, light pink. I'm going to put it at the end. Although, as I said, I'm going to go back to other tones later on as well. I'll add in some deep red and some other shades of pink. Well, I'll do that in a minute. I'm just trying to build a scale and then I'll go back. So that's that colour. So yeah, I'm gonna lightly go over it because I'm not gonna have any white bits in this section. But later I will smoothen it because, as you can tell in the video, the colouring is still quite rough. And that's the problem, because you know it's not instantly smooth, you have to make it smooth. But so far I'm just trying to get the colours in. I'm going to be using a deep sort of shaded purple red now. I'm using quite a bit of the reddy coloured one because it gives quite a nice deep pink colour. Okay, I'm going to start adding some more of the light pink, but as I said, I keep going back and forth between tones because that's just how I draw. But I generally always start off as on the dark with the dark tones. This is now quite an important bit. This is when, well, I can use the white colour pencil whenever, but I generally use it on the light areas, and I won't use it yet, but you should know that I use it quite a lot to blend, or I use very, very light tones like this one, which I'll use as well. But when you use light tones or a white, it basically allows blending. You know, instead like if you haven't got Prismacolors or if you haven't got very blendy pencils, using the white watercolor pencil just helps take the edge off. Often if it's too white, because if you add too much white, you get quite a it looks far too white. For example, if I just went over there, you've lost a lot of pink colour. So if you wanted to smoothen it down, you add the white and then you add another layer of pink on top of that, and it just smoothens it down. Obviously you can't tell from that little patch, but that's just an example. Okay, this is where most people think I stop for the rim. What I do from here is I add more light tones around the white to make it less stand out. So here's, light tones, so here's a pink. And then I play with all the colours I've already used to achieve a good blend. So you never, when you're drawing, you never want to go into patches of light just suddenly. That's not something you ever want to do. So right now I'm just sort of playing around with the colours and just making it look how I think it should look. And you know that with that, it takes time, it takes practice to achieve, you know what it should look like in your mind's eye. Because for example, this, I'm not looking at anything for these colours, I just feel that these are right and that they belong like this. So this is another deep purple. You know, I'll go over it again and again and again until I think it's good enough. So if I don't think something's dark enough, I'll add some more. Okay, so my camera shut down, so it didn't film me doing this bit, but yeah, I filmed a little bit, and it's getting dark, so I've had to turn a lamp on. So yeah, the last bit, it's a similar, well, exactly the same as but I like to go in stages, do the outside, inside, and then I'll just go over everything when I've finished. Basically, obviously, the first thing is you do black again, and then the one up, so I'm going to be using that one, and I just sketch on it. So because it's the centre, it's going to be one of the darkest places in the eye, because this is the pupil. So I'm mostly going to stick to those kind of things, but and then finally some more purple. And there we have it. That's just an example. Again, it's highly down to you how you do it. And I hope this tutorial was useful, guys. Here's another look at the examples above. The lighting's not great. And of course those were done in the same way that this was done. If this tutorial is useful, please tell me in the comment section below. And yeah, thanks guys.